let's go to page 596 and let's go and do number 5. Number 5, you have to use the equation from oral exercise number 1. Okay, so you got y equal to tangent of 1/2 x. So in this case, you got a equal to 1, b equal to 1/2. Now for tangent and cotangent, the period is pi over b. Okay, so period equal to pi over b. So be careful with that. So period equal to pi over 1/2. You multiply by common denominator. So period equal to 2 pi. And now for tangent and cotangent, you want to use half of that, half wave. So h is a half. So half of that will give you pi. Okay, so now when you're doing the graphing, okay, for tangent and cotangent, you want to use this graph over here. Okay, now for when you're graphing the tangent graph, okay, you want to start from the middle, and the tangent is going this direction. Okay. I'm going to put this right over here. So for tangent, the starting point is in the middle, and so that's your 0. And a half wave is pi. That means this would be a pi, this will be a 2 pi, this will be a 3 pi. When you go opposite direction, this will be negative pi, negative 2 pi, and over here will be negative 3 pi. Now the amplitude is 1, so to get amplitude, you have to go quarter of the way. So half of the half. So from here, you go up, and you match, you go across. So that's 1 over here, and the same amount would be down here, would be negative 1. Okay, so that would be your number 5. Okay, let's go to number 6. Number 6, you have to use number 2 from oral exercises. So you got y equal to secant of 2x. Okay, so from here, you have to, when you're graphing the secant, you have to think about cosine. So think about cosine 2x. Okay, so easier if you graph the cosine 2x and you invert that. So over here, you're going to get a equal to 1, b equal to 2. So period equal to 2 pi over b. So period equal to pi. And so quarter wave would be pi over 4. Now for secant, you want to use this graph. Okay? Okay, so cosine starts on the very top over here. Okay, the a is equal to 1, so this is 1, 0, and this would be negative 1, and the period is, the quarter wave is pi over 4. Now before we do that, let's go ahead and do the asymptotes, because you have to invert, right? Because over here y equal to 0, when you invert, it becomes the asymptote. Okay, so your graph would be like this. So you just invert that. And when you're doing the labeling, quarter wave is pi over 4. So this will be pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4. When you go opposite direction, you get negative pi over 4, negative 2 pi over 4, negative 3 pi over 4. And this one, they want you to graph at least 1 period. So at least 1 period, so that's enough already. So we got more than 1 period. Okay, so that's it for number 6. Okay, let's go to number 7. Okay, number 7, you have to use number 3 from the oral exercises. So y equal to 1/2 cosecant of x. So cosecant is a reciprocal, or is a reciprocal of the of sine. Okay, so you go and think of it as a sine of x. Okay, so you got a equal to 1/2, b equal to 1. So period equal to 2 pi over b. So it'd be just 2 pi, and the quarter wave is 1/4 of that will give you pi over 4. Okay, so again, this one you want to use this graph over here. Okay, and it's getting too crowded over here, so I'm going to skip a space. I'm going to go down a little bit over here. Now sine starts over here. Okay, so I'm going to do this right over here. Okay, and the amplitude is 1/2, so this would be 1/2. and this would be negative 1 over 2, and this would be a 0. Okay, and I'm going to draw the asymptotes first. So here's your asymptote. And you're going to invert the graph. And your quarter wave is pi over 4. That means every division is pi over 4. So over here, this would be pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4. And you go negative direction, you get negative pi over 4, negative 2 pi over 4, negative 3 pi over 4, negative 4 pi over 4. Okay, let's go to number 8. Number 8, you have to use number 4 in the oral exercise. So you got y equal to 1/2 cotangent of x. So you got a equal to 1/2, b equal to 1. So that's your b over here. Now for tangent and cotangent, period is pi over b. Okay, so it'd be just pi. It's pi over b, and the half wave would be pi over 2. So now when you're doing the graphing, this is a cotangent, so you want to use this graph over here. Okay, now for cotangent, it's going opposite direction, so you have to go this way. So you can tangent going this way, cotangent going this way. Also, tangent starts right in the middle. That's where your axis is going to be. But for cotangent, it starts right over here. Okay, so you can tangent going this way, cotangent going this way. Tangent starts right in the middle between the asymptotes, and the cotangent starts on the asymptote. So this would be a 0, and the halfway is pi over 2. So this would be pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, 4 pi over 2, and when you go this way, you get negative pi over 2, negative 2 pi over 2. Okay, now to get the amplitude, you go halfway over here, you go up over, so that would be the A, and the A is 1/2, so this is 1/2, and this would be negative 1/2. Okay, so you can just go to the quarter point. Okay, so this is half, so this is 1/4 the quarter, right? You go up and over. Okay, and that's it for number 8. Okay, let's go to number 9. Number 9, you have to use number 5 from the oral exercises. So y equal to 2 cotangent of pi x. So a equal to 2, b equal to pi. So period equal to pi over b. So period equal to 1. So half wave is 1/2. Okay, so this is the cotangent. So cotangent, just like the last one. Okay, we need to go this direction. And cotangent starts on the asymptote, and this would be a 0, and halfway is 1/2. So this would be 1/2, 2/2, negative 1/2, negative 2 over 2, and your amplitude is 2. So you go quarter point up and over. Right, from here you go up over. So this would be a 2, and this would be a negative 2. Okay, get too much information over here. Okay, so that's number 8. Okay, let's go. This is number 9. Okay, now let's go to number 10. So number 10, you have to use number 6 on oral exercises. So you got y equal to 2 tangent of pi over 2x. So you got a equal to 2, b equal to pi over 2. So period equal to pi over b. So multiply by common denominator. So this cancel out, and you got 2 pi over pi. So period equal to 2. The half wave is equal to 1. Okay, so for number 10, Okay, this is the tangent, so tangent graph is going this way. And the tangent graph starts from the middle. And your half wave is 1, so that means every division is 1. So this would be 0, 1, 2, 3, and this would be -1, -2, -3. Your amplitude is 2, so you go quarter wave and you go up and over, so that's 2, and the same amount going down, that's your -2. Okay. So that would be the graph for number 10.